Alpha Book Club. I'm Rachel Hine. Joining me as always are two of my favorite people in the whole world, Maud Garrett and Hector Navarro.
Same.
Yeah.
It's the best. I can be in the worst mood or have a bad day or just be like today I was like, maybe I should take up kickboxing because I was just like in such a bad mood.
You should.
But then I was like, that's okay.
You've got the height for it. Jesus, that'd be awesome.
Club.
That would be badass.
You sure it's not the wine? You sure it's not the wine?
No, because I go home and have wine. It's not the same.
So if you did a martial art, it would be kickboxing. If you did like
I
a
don't
thing.
know.
You are
I
so
dance
Orinda right now.
Oh, do you do any kind of fighting or anything?
I mean,
What would
I
you do?
slaughter innocents online. In a game.
Boom.
That's fictional because I've never held a real gun in real life.
Yeah.
I would want to do like kung fu or like some cool.
I can see
Yeah,
you
I
Tai
wanna do
Chiing it up.
Krav
Actually.
Maga.
Tai Chi's
a
not
little
enough.
soft?
I need some more. I need some Krav Maga. That's what I need.
I would
No,
just
I'm not
box.
strong.
Box.
I do.
Boxing's
I actually
good.
think I've got a good technique. It's like
Yeah.
you got to
Oh, yeah.
protect.
It's good. Dang.
Do you know how I know
Yeah,
it?
you've seen Creed.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
when I had a personal trainer and we were boxing, and he was just like,
you go.
I go, I don't want to hear left, right, left. I want to hear Hadouken. And I was like, that's. So he'd be like, what? Okay. And I'd be like, what? And I'd like do it with the sound effects.
That's awesome.
That helped me.
I love that.
Hallelujah.
That's
I
one
feel
of my.
like I'd injure myself because my spatial reasoning is so off that I think I'm
What?
a much smaller person than I am, so I bump into stuff a lot.
Spatial reasoning. Get out of town.
It's true.
You
Really?
stay in your chair.
Yes.
Give me a high five.
I was gonna.
I saw you like.
What? Give me a high five. See, you knew exactly where my hand was. Spatial. Get out of here. If you really
I
thought
think I've
that.
got a really good, and this is from like fake punching my brothers all the time. I think I've got a really good spatial
Yeah.
recognition.
Yeah.
And I could get super close but not touch.
That's the term.
Look, I've been reading comic books my whole life. I know
like
how to
reasoning.
I've seen fights. I know how to fight, right?
I like that you reason with it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Listen,
gosh,
space.
welcome to our Alpha community. We're so excited that you guys have stuck with us this long and you keep reading with us. It's super fun. Keep joining in on the chat. It's always so much fun to see what you guys think of everything from American Gods to
Yeah.
what? Not
Pinkishly in the chat.
Oh, that's
Not to be mean, but everyone looks tired. Hello, Pinkishly. Welcome to Alpha Book Club. My name's Maud Garrett, and I'm not tired. I had a lot of sleep last night.
Hi, Pinkishly. We're reading Thrawn today, and it's a great book.
this
Look
is
at
just
you
what
with
my
that
face
glasses.
looks like.
Everyone, we should not have glasses for like the next hot second.
What? Do I
Wow,
look
look what
different?
everyone looks like.
Do I look different?
My shirt looks saggy and sad because it's got a microphone on it and it's not supposed to, by the way. This is
Do I look different
Punderway.net.
without glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa! What are you doing? Why would you do that? Ah.
Do I look different?
Oh.
No?
Do you know what I realized? I can't
Anyway.
do cross-eyed. I can only put one eye in. That's
Oh.
all I
Now,
go.
okay, now while keeping that eye in,
Yeah.
I can't even
Look
read
at me
the
with your
prompter
other eye.
without my glasses right now.
no, but keep that eye.
Oh no, we gotta go close on this shit because I'm getting a headache.
Oh no,
guys.
you guys are gonna get
Get close on
stuck.
And
this.
then look.
Oh, it hurts. Please come close. Thank you. And then look at you.
Yeah. But don't just that one.
What's happening right now? Everything's blurry and I don't know what's going on.
All right, you should stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I can't
That
see, so I
tired
gotta
me
put
out.
these back on. Well, thank you. My answer to when people tell me I look tired is that this is just what my face looks like, because it's true. Let's get into our last week of discussion on this book, y'all. We just read
We did
Star Wars.
We finished it.
My shoulder.
Thrawn. So previously we had the awesome Amy Ratcliffe on
Yes.
last time.
She's
What
great.
is time? Super awesome. Really big fan of Star Wars. She had a lot of context and different. I love when we have people on, or even when we all
Yeah.
disagree with something,
Yeah.
like, and have different perspectives. Because I
Yeah.
feel like I learned something by the end, or at least I'm like, if I'm not swayed by someone's opinion, it like opens my mind up.
But
a
that
little bit.
context is great. 2 weeks ago, the two guests we had on, Bert and Jesse, also
Oh,
knew
when we were
about
gone?
when you guys were gone. But they had provided that context of they had read the Thrawn books from the '90s,
Yeah.
so that was really interesting too. And I'm sure I know that Amy did. So it's that
Mm-hmm.
same kind of like it's cool to know about why this character is a big deal
Yeah.
as you're talking about this book.
Extra layers.
Yes,
And I
layers.
found a new set of layers actually reading the last quarter of this book, which was fascinating. I'm like, Thrawn keeps surprising me, and
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
so
Arinda too. I
talk
feel
about that.
Arinda.
Yes,
Arinda.
Arinda.
I don't know why I have.
Or
What do you want to
Ninja.
call it? Just call it that. Hermione.
Aridna.
Aridna.
I
Aridna.
don't know why. I'm just switching the D and the N.
Garignac.
That's all right.
Garignac.
It's the
Rock.
H and the N looks
Rock.
like, I don't know. But
Yeah.
okay, so let's get into it. So last time we had sort of a lot of these space battles. We see Thrawn and Eli and Arinda finally sort of like moving up in the world and having these realizations that Thrawn especially, that maybe he does need to pay attention to politics a little bit more. Maybe there is something going on there.
Yeah.
He's not perfect.
Yeah. He's learning something.
Can't associate with that.
And we learn in this that
joke.
in the last section of the book that everything we've kind of thought so far about these characters is, at least for me, slightly off at like too like wildly off.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
There was the space battle stuff like didn't hit for me as hard as the other stuff.
I
Yeah.
get really confused. They need to spell
Yes.
this shit out to me.
A
And it
little
happened
bit
again
more.
in this
A
last
little
quarter
bit
as
more.
well, which is like the positioning of the ships, and they're like, it's so bad. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it happened with like the infiltration, and it's like the ion cannons are firing. And I got the fact that the commander in the last chunk that we read wasn't doing a very good
That
job.
one was more clear than this one at the
Agreed.
end.
I basically would just wait for when Eli would look to Thrawn and go, but that's not going to work. And then it said in the book, like, and then Eli realized, oh, wait, it's going to work because of this.
Yeah.
And that's when Thrawn said, I'm very proud of you. And I'd be like, thank you for explaining that to me, Eli.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Sometimes I like to throw in a Marvel or DC character as a parallel to talk to you on another level. I want to do the exact same thing again here. Hear me out.
It helps. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thrawn is Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Eli is Dick. Eli's Nightwing.
Dick Grayson, Robin, Nightwing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. See, some people aren't on a first name basis with Dick, so
I
you
can't
just
call him anything else.
yeah.
If you're going to call this guy Richard, but everyone calls him Dick, I'm going to call
Master
him
Dick.
Dick.
He's
Yep.
Dick.
He is
Master
the
Dick.
master of
According to Alfred
Dick.
Pennyworth. Yep.
But do you see the parallels that I'm talking about here, where
Absolutely.
Batman knows everything and then he's getting his apprentice on?
Still, they have such an interesting relationship. No, it's so funny. It worked on me. It worked. She said those things, and it unlocked something in my brain. I'm like, because really, when you break it down, but Thrawn has this thing that he does where he keeps information. He
Yes.
plays things close to his chest. Even to Eli, who's this guy who he's taken under his wing. He's probably his best friend, closest ally, and still would keep things from him,
But it
which
was
was
also to
frustrating.
test and challenge
but it was
him.
also to test him and challenge him, and that's absolutely
But we
Bruce
also,
and Dick.
Thank you.
You
we
got it.
also learn a little bit in this that it didn't start out that way. It started
Mm-hmm.
out as him.
Eli was fueled with resentment.
Yeah, but but I mean Thrawn too, where we think like, oh, he sees something in him, but it's really just that he's
Thrawn's
making
like, I'm
sure
gonna
that
use
he's
him.
not,
Yeah.
and making sure that he's not onto his game, where he's like, oh no, that if anyone's gonna figure this out, it's this guy because he has the context
And it fooled
to
me.
put it together.
A lot of the book, like I was thinking, this poor Eli character, like he's just going through the motions at this stage. Like he's surprised when he discovers Thrawn's plans, but at the end of the day, he doesn't necessarily want to be there. And I kind of love, like by the end of the book, like he's just completely accepted that this is who he is. And I love
Yeah.
when Thrawn, there was a chapter in there, talks about Eli to Night Swan, which we will go into, and how he was saying, no, Eli's one of the few that can actually keep up with me. And I love that I was fooled for like 3/4 of this book. I didn't think Eli had this capability. I thought that, he was the secondary character.
I believed in
No,
Eli.
I thought
believed in
I
Eli.
saw
Yeah,
him
the
along
numbers
the
thing.
way.
He had a
was
beautiful
picking-
mind.
He just doubted himself so much that it
Yes.
came through the book where he would say like, whatever, anyone could get that. And in this section, you finally have someone say, one of the commanders goes, no, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, this isn't
Half
simple.
of the people don't understand.
And Eli was like, dang, maybe I'm real smart. Maybe I should stay in the Empire. Maybe I should rise in the ranks. Maybe I'm smarter than I thought I was.
Why is he from...
I'm from the Outer Rims planets. That's what we sound like. That's our
okay.
accent.
You
That's what our
sound
accent
like
sounds
an
like.
actor.
What? Yeah, I'm Lucas Black from Fast and
Oh
Furious
my
Tokyo
God!
Drift.
I had quick aside.
I was
which
thinking
we never
True
do
Blood.
on this show.
Oh no.
I had Lucas Black's picture in my locker. Have I told the story before?
No, but I need some wine in
Yeah.
Because I
Go
was
on.
sent to an all-girls school, and I saw the movie
Fast and
that he
Furious
was
Tokyo
in.
Drift.
No, before that.
What other movies was he in?
He
Who
was in
cares?
something
I can't even
Carolina.
picture him,
It was
guys.
with somebody help me
Josh
out in the
Lucas?
chat. No,
No.
I like him too.
Oh,
but
he's
no,
Sweet
Lucas
Home
The
Alabama.
voice
Black.
of Home Depot, right? Josh Lucas, isn't that what he does now?
I don't
He looks
know.
like one of my boyfriends, ex-boyfriends.
Josh Lucas.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Lucas Black,
Oh,
who's
man.
now in like NCIS New Orleans or
Yeah,
something.
and like I don't get it now, but at the
need to
time,
Google this guy.
When you put a bunch
he
of
was the little boy
13-year-old girls,
in Sling Blade.
yeah,
Does not
opposite-
do shit.
Crazy in Alabama, I think, or one of those. What?
No,
No,
that's
that was Josh Lucas.
Josh Lucas and Reese Witherspoon.
I love Josh Lucas.
No, I
can
do.
we
No,
just
this
say.
is Lucas Black. He plays a teen. Anyway, he was in a one-off movie where he's a teenager, and
She's laughing at another text.
I
isn't it?
am. I'm getting trolled by a type stop to stop. these slew of messages because we're asking for your feedback. And I said, stop, but actually, please stop this time. And it went, sorry, we only accept 0 to 10. And I was like, you're trolling me. I'm getting trolled by an automated message system. Anyway, how's your day?
So you're played by Lucas Black.
Lucas Black.
Yeah, Eli
Not
Vanto.
Josh Lucas. I can understand that. But yeah, so I the other thing that surprised me in this was that Arinda went back for her family.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of thought she was ready to throw them out. I mean, she let a whole bunch
Well,
of other people die.
What's funny about
Oh, the young guy?
yeah,
With the brows.
yes,
With the eyebrows.
yes.
Yeah.
Can you just show us a picture? Because I don't know if you know if
it's
we
not
think
I don't
we know who you're
understand
talking
why.
about. No.
No.
God damn guy.
That's like a recent young guy. We're talking about a young guy.
This
in
guy
like
looks like
2004 young guy.
Yeah, oh, it's not.
That
It's
guy.
not good.
I've never
Not good.
heard of
Look
this
up
guy
his
before.
IMDb.
Spoiler
You've
alert,
seen him
don't
in
put
movies.
your
You've seen him in
prepubescent
movies.
daughter in an all-girls school.
Like, he's not attractive.
No, he's not.
Woof.
No,
He
not
can
at all.
Tokyo
but
drift
I
into
had
my
this picture
DMs
in my
anytime.
locker at the time.
Oh, he looks better when he's not doing a shit smile. But when
Yes.
he's doing
Here's what happened, and he looked better in 2004. Here's what happened. For
When I
me,
was two.
Thrawn got less evil by the end of the book because I was expecting him to sort of be, I was expecting him to be straight up, flat out evil, like can surpass Darth Vader evil. And for me, he got less evil, and Arinda got more evil. For me, they changed. They completely changed. And talking about just bigger picture, the whole summation of the book, Arinda, as soon as, and there's a specific moment, I'm just going to go ahead and read it real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and read it.
Okay.
This specific moment made me a kind of like, I don't know, like I fought for Arinda, but I also was just kind of blown away at this moment.
While we find the page as well, Wade
Yeah.
Watts said, we start to see the Eli that Thrawn has seen all along. Oh, that's well said, Wade.
Watts.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
the Eli that Thrawn had seen all along. Love this part. I'm a governor.
play a character?
Yeah, you want to play a character?
who am I?
Page 400. We are on page 400.
Yep.
And in fact, there's this little specific thing I'm just going to read super quick.
My microphone.
What's going on?
In your neck. You
What am
just
I
pinch
doing?
it there.
I'm so sorry.
Great
I'm
moment.
so
Sorry, I've
sorry, everybody.
inappropriately
I'm
touched
so
This is
sorry.
the best episode we've ever
Oh,
done
God.
so far.
Did we run out of
I
Fox?
feel like a fucking mess. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm sorry.
While he
it
does
down
that,
more.
guys, this is a pun shirt. It says space in Vaders. And guess what's
it's-
in the Vaders?
It's
Space. Punware.net. It's on sale right now.
Like an alien penis. Is that what we're looking for? Does that sound okay? Is this good?
I've never
It's
I've
better.
never
They said it's better. I'm so
talking
sorry.
about,
I've never
Uh,
seen an
alien
alien
more?
Yeah.
penis, but I'm excited about this. All
Alien
right.
penis. Just real
subtle
quick about
visual.
Arinda.
Okay, am I playing Arinda?
Yes, that's on page 400, and you will be playing Arinda.
I'm just gonna
But this is on page 361. But ships were ships, men were men, and admirals, even ones who'd risen as rapidly through the ranks as Thrawn, were still just admirals.
I just
She'd-
have to say I highlighted that because ships
Yes.
were ships and men were men, and I was like, preacher in.
Boom! She'd handled her share, and she would handle this one. So I can put down my Marvel trading card bookmark, and now we're on page 300. And this is
400.
what happens. 400.
Yeah.
Can you start with I'm a governor down towards the bottom of the page of 400, and we're going to keep going.
If you could just point it out to me. I'm a governor.
Arinda bit out, taking a step toward him. I've got the blaster. There was a sudden gasp from the stairs. Arinda's mother had frozen halfway down the steps, gripping a shimmering multicolored crystal, her eyes bulging at the
There you go,
sight
Mum.
of Gudry's blaster. Arinda took another step toward Gudry as he reflexively spun to face the unexpected noise. As he spun back toward Arinda, she hurled her stack of data cards into his face. He was quick, but he was also half-turned, his balance was off, and his blaster was pointed the wrong way. He ducked his head away from the flying data cards, flinging up his free hand to fend them off, then spun back toward Arinda. Too late. She caught his wrist with her right hand. As he tried to break it free, she swung the arm upward, ducked under it, grabbed the blaster with her other hand, and pulled his elbow down sharply across her shoulder. There was a faint sound as the joint snapped, a barely louder grunt as Gudry reacted to the pain. Arinda twisted the blaster free of his grip and started to dive out of his reach, and gasped in pain as he slammed the heel of his other hand against the back of her head. She fell forward and away from him, her head spinning, her knees wobbling. She threw out her free hand blindly, managed to catch the arm of a chair as she fell past it. She pivoted around the arm and slammed onto her back on the floor. Cute. Gudry growled as he strode toward her, clutching his broken elbow with his other hand. We'll try that again in the dojo after they put my arm back together. Get up. It's time to go.
With my parents.
Arinda managed between gasps of air. No, Gudry bit out. Let him die here with all the rest of these Outer Rim freaks. Lifting the blaster, Arinda shot him 3 times in the chest.
Boom, boom, boom.
He collapsed in a heap, dead before he even had the time to change expression. Holding the
cold-hearted
back of
killer.
her head, wincing at the knives of pain shooting through her skull, Arinda climbed back to her feet. Her mother was still standing there on the stairs, her eyes even wider than before.
See?
Arinda managed, pointing her blaster at the crystal clutched in Elaine's hands.
You do have memories of your own.
Wow!
Cold-hearted killer.
So
That was a moment for me that I was like, that was a big shift for
I
Arinda.
think that's
She's flat out evil.
I think that's a good
But
question.
also protecting
of,
her family.
We have a Skype guest.
Is he, yeah,
Great job.
I wanna ask because I don't know that I agree, so I wanna bring somebody else on. So we
Yeah.
have a Skype guest. Skype
In
guest
jest?
We have a
joining us
Skype
today.
jest.
Jester. Oh no, now he's got big shoes
Oh,
to
it's
fill.
Tyler!
Yay!
Hey, T-Boys!
Hey,
There he is.
Tyler. I'm gonna
Hi,
put
Tyler.
My little headset.
Oh,
in.
is ours not turned on?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Let's turn
Hi.
it on.
Hi,
It's too
Tyler.
loud now.
Hello.
Oh my god! Oh
perfect.
great!
All right.
You're
good.
wearing a Star Wars T-shirt.
Yay.
So I'm not going to stop unless
right-
you tell me to.
please stop.
Oh,
Right off the bat, right off the bat, T-Boys, just based off of that last thing,
Yeah.
I think Rachel's about to ask you, do you feel like Arinda is like
Pure evil?
irredeemably evil, or was that her protecting her family?
Or is it the haircut?
the haircut.
Maybe a little bit of both. But I think kind of just Imperials in general are kind of irredeemably evil because it's like, it's not always because they're like, oh, they're anti-Outer Rim or anti-human or anti-alien, but more so, most of them are just out to use the Empire to their own benefits, whether that's, you know, Arinda willing to do anything to save her family, or we talked about Moff Gotti a week or two ago and how he'll basically do anything to enrich himself and
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
take down
don't like him.
superiors, and just that's basically kind of the idea behind the Empire. It's the evil Empire. There's a reason that it's been called that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not just Luke's shot that takes down the Death Star that starts to cripple the Empire. I feel like even if Luke wasn't there, that somebody else would have come along to take down the Empire, the Emperor, Darth Vader, but also just that system itself would not survive because it's all about people screwing people over. And I feel like eventually people get wise to that, right? When you
Well, what
oppress
we're
people, they
seeing-
rise up in a fiery anger.
Absolutely, I totally agree. But I do think
bet.
that there's a point in this that it's hard to bring all these different groups together because people inherently argue so much and
Yeah.
have different perspectives. What do you think about Thrawn, Tyler? Do you think that Thrawn became more evil by the end, less evil? Did you get to understand him more through this book?
Well, I kind of already understood him pretty well because I've read pretty much everything by Timothy Zahn. That's what got me introduced to the Star Wars EU. Actually, I have my very first EU book right here.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh,
Give us a look at that
Outbound
sweet,
Play,
sweet thing.
yeah.
which I got
Yes.
signed by
No, show it off.
Zahn himself at, I believe it was AwesomeCon 2013. It was like
so
the first
cool.
convention I ever attended.
That's
Hold
cute.
it up, hold it up, hold
Mine
it
was
up to the
Christopher
camera.
Filoni with an Aragon book. Oh, that's so cute.
Hold it up to the
Guys,
camera
yeah,
again.
we
Hold it
wanna
up.
see it.
Here, I'll hold it up to the camera.
That's
Yeah.
so. Show us their,
Cool.
show us their signature.
Yeah, is there a
Yeah.
signature? It's on there? It's in there? Cool.
Yep.
This is
there.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's
Timothy
awesome.
Zahn.
cute.
Love it.
So yeah, so I'm pretty familiar with Thrawn already, but this showed me a side of Thrawn I never really seen before because in the previous books you see the tactics, you see the confidence, and even kind of sort of that icy demeanor that you hear in Rebels. Although Lars Mikkelsen here does do a bit of a different interpretation. Most audiobooks have him like very deep or like almost like a growl when he speaks.
Yeah.
But I think as far as the character himself, what really stands out is his willingness to compromise. Like, not just like with
Yeah.
other, with allies and enemies, but his own ideals.
Yes.
Like when he liberates
disagree.
the now empty slave transport of Wookiees.
That's really interesting.
I find myself disagreeing because he makes people think as if there is a compromise,
But really, he's still.
but he's
winning.
already planned out both of the
potential
ways that you could,
outcomes, yeah.
yes,
Well-
and he's changed it to make it look like he
Interesting.
is compromising, but he actually had control of the situation.
It almost makes me want to go back and read
Aliens.
to try to look for specific examples, because I feel like the fact that we're in Thrawn's head and at the beginning of each chapter, which we learn at the end of the book, is a journal entry that eventually Eli Vanto is reading.
I
But
didn't
each of
click.
What's that?
I didn't click.
Oh, okay. Eli's, what he's reading, I feel like even in those little paragraphs, there are statements that say like, you know, you think this thing is one way, but it could turn into the other way, and that's fine. And warriors have to know how to sort of pivot or adjust. And I feel like he does have a side of him that he is willing to maybe not compromise like T-Boyce is saying, but definitely
Well,
like
I
learn.
think compromise may have been the wrong word to use. I think
Sure.
complacency, more like kind of getting into that side of Thrawn that's more like Robert E. Lee or Erwin Rommel. It's that they could be considered honorable men, except they're fighting for dishonorable causes.
Sure.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
you know,
Well
Thrawn
said.
is willing to look the other way on the slavery. He's willing to look the other
Yeah.
way on the fact that Arinda bombed a city, essentially. It's just
Yeah.
he's constantly complacent to the evils of the Empire, even though he himself does not directly partake in them.
It's a little
Yeah.
Machiavellian almost, right? Because he's
Tupac.
ultimately trying to protect his people
Did you
and
say
get
Tupac? Thank God.
because he's trying to protect his people as well as keep chaos, like keep order in the galaxy. He doesn't want chaos, but
Yeah.
he's willing to let other people die, enough people die to serve that end,
Yeah,
to
man.
get to that point. So
He described
yeah.
people as not people, as resources.
resources.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think we discovered his true agenda and his motives and what he stands for during his conversation with Night Swan. That particular scene for me was so beautiful because it was like a game of poker where you put all your cards down and show everything. And we learnt a lot about Thrawn in this instance. The fact that he wasn't aware that he was being watched and eavesdropped upon, and you understood that this was a power play for him, and he described it with the beast, and there are two people and the beast is coming for you, and what would you do? It's like, God, you'd run or you'd try to attack it. It's like, no, there's there's another option here. And
Yeah.
I was like, what is it? I had no idea. I didn't even think about throwing someone else at the beast to take it so you could get away. And to put that analogy into play, I thought that it was very, very interesting that, it wasn't surprising, but interesting that Thrawn was using the Empire for his greater good.
Yeah, not at all, Thrawn said. Certainly the Empire is corrupt. No government totally escapes that plague. Certainly it is tyrannical. But quick and utter ruthlessness is necessary when the galaxy is continually threatened by chaos. What
But he
a
loves
bastard.
chaos.
Yeah, I mean,
Did
he
you notice that as
thrives
well?
in chaos, I
Yeah.
think, because he's trying to see through it to solve it.
Because he can manipulate chaos. I'm one of those frenzied people that turns into a wacky inflatable and flailing arm tube man.
I like organized. I like cutting
So
through
that's fine.
organized chaos.
Cutting through it.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
think because I don't consider myself an organized person, but I like to see the like straight lines in a mess, I guess. Which that seems like
You're not organized?
no.
well, I've noticed your head that far tilted.
I was
Mont.
like,
That was
No,
impressive.
it's all an act. No, it's like endless lists to try to be organized. But if
Yeah.
I don't have that, then I'm like,
A list is an act of organizing thoughts.
that's how I'm. But it's like I have to do that. I can't do it inherently. I have to like
But that-
practice. I've
but it's still an-
practiced at it a lot.
That
So
is-
maybe I do it now.
That is inherent. Made a list.
Tyler.
Made a list. Tyler.
My second question.
That's how I
or
make my points.
second and a half, third and a half.
Don't, moderator. Don't.
If
Dare.
you,
Not that one.
because you were such a big fan of the original books, did this book live up to those for you?
Yeah, would you recommend it? Would you recommend Thrawn?
I think I would recommend it if you're already a fan of the character. It is
Yeah.
a little weird in the sense that, kind of going back to what Maud was saying earlier, the fact that we
I
learn
love that.
how he ended up exiled on that planet, we never knew that in the previous books. I mean, it was
Yeah.
kind of hinted at, like in Outbound Flight, it's kind of hinted at that he preemptively attacked an alien race that was probably going to attack the Chiss at some point. But it's only kind of hinted at. But now we learned that it wasn't the case at all. The Chiss
Planted.
placed him there as an inside agent. And it definitely kind of threw me off for a bit. It's like, oh, that isn't Thrawn as I understood him. But then it just kind of hit me like, I don't understand Thrawn at all. He really is a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
But T-Boyce, there's no such thing as an accident with him. Nothing is accidental.
Exactly. And
Everything's
what
premeditated.
really struck me is that
Yeah.
it really wasn't an accident, that he was deliberately placed there by the Ascendancy. It's just like, oh man, they really thought this through. And it really does go back to that story I was talking about with the two hunters facing off against the beast. That really the only way you can figure out your enemy is to join up with them.
Yeah. Wade Watts in the chat says, Zahn wrote the scene artfully. It shows us the complexity of Thrawn's character and motives, which I think is really true. Yeah, it's really great. Like, I wanted more. I thought there was going to be more of a third act movie cinematic action set piece, which there kind of was and wasn't with the whole.
It was over quite quickly. It was over with a push of the button.
Exactly. And to me,
I felt like there were so many scenes building up the space battle and what we were saying but I couldn't visualize it very well. So I think it was supposed to be cinematic, but.
But in any case, I think that
was it for anyone here? Because that's three no's.
Yeah.
I gotta say the space battle kind of threw me off a little bit because. Just the idea, like, people are constantly telling Thrawn, like, why do you have your cruiser so far away from the Star Destroyer? They're going to get blown away, or they're just going to focus all your fire on the Star Destroyer. And, like, I'm reading along with Vanto and Yular, and I'm like, yeah, that is a really stupid move. What are you doing, Thrawn? And then, like, but I completely forgot the very first scene of Heir to the Empire where he pulls off an equally stupid move. It's called a Marg Sable or something like that. Basically, he angled the bomb of the Star Destroyer away from the enemy fleet. So the Star Destroyer was at its most vulnerable, but the hangar decks were protected from the enemy fleet.
Yeah.
And rather than go for the Star Destroyer, the enemy fleet hung back while Thrawn's fighters just launched and wiped out the enemy. And I love Thrawn's response when Gilad Pellaeon, who's basically Eli in the original trilogy, well, why did you do that? Well, because there was an Ilaman commanding that fleet, and Ilaman are very cautious when they see something that's rudimentary or unusual. It's just like the fact that he was able to read Night Swan that well from that one conversation they had, to be able to make that kind of tactical decision was just... I don't know whether it was brilliant or just sheer accident, but either way, it was amazing.
No accidents. And I love the fact, like,
right.
he does take a lot about civilizations through their artwork.
Yeah,
and I
that was
think
cool.
that was brilliant. And
Eli
like when
had his numbers,
that's
Thrawn
it.
had
And
his
I
art.
loved how they surmised that at the end, and it was this complete little picture and combined. They just had so much vast information from what the everyday person would always overlook.
A lot of great comments in the chat. Lost the Number says, I would recommend Thrawn to anyone who has seen him in Rebels. Bucky B618 says, as an intro to Star Wars novels, and Plagueman agrees. Not a good intro to Star Wars novels, but good once you know some of the EU.
If you want a good intro to Star Wars novels, I haven't read all of them, but I've read about half of them so far, and the one I feel would be a great intro step is Lords of the Sith by Paul S. Camp.
Cool.
This one is basically after the first Death Star has blown up, Vader and the Emperor are working close together, and they're doing a slew of different missions together, and you kind of see how well two people on the Siths basically work against the masses of people and monsters.
Cool.
And
Lords of the Sith.
Really, really good. Audiobook, that one. That's how I did it.
Nice.
You get the sound effects, you get the themes, you get all the composition.
You know I was listening to Michael Giacchino's Rogue One score when I was reading this, and all of the other Star Wars scores. T-Boys, what would be your recommendation for like an intro to Star Wars novels?
That was mine.
What?
That was a novel.
Yeah.
That was
we just
great.
want to
And
know what his is.
T-Boys, yeah.
The way you said it was like...
Sorry. What I meant to say was,
that
what I
was
meant to say was,
garbage.
Mod's recommendation was real dumb. So T-Boys, what would your recommendation be for the intro? No, I'm kidding. It was great.
No, that was... I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
May the Force be with you.
So it's an easy answer would really be Timothy Zahn, just because he's been such an integral part of the EU. He basically started by writing Heir to the Empire back in 1989. So that's kind of the easy answer, is to just read
Maybe
any
you paid
of the
him out by
Thrawn
looking like a
trilogy.
geek.
But one I'd also really recommend, if only because because I really like his work with BioWare, is Drew Karpyshyn with the Darth Bane trilogy.
Cool.
Because it's just like, if you were ever curious about the nature of the dark side and just where the Sith came from, how they came to be, like why they're such antagonistic enemies, the Jedi operating from the shadows. Darth Bane
Created the rule of 2. I'm letting you talk. I
basically
am.
will make you root for the dark side. It's very,
Wow.
very persuasive.
So I'm going to tag on to the back of that one because I don't know if anyone else in this panel can have a conversation like we're about to have. What's great about Darth Bane is that he's actually mentioned in the prequels. This is a conversation that happened, which means it is canon, even though the books discussing Darth Bane are no longer canon, but they use the premise. And there's a gorgeous scene. The only good thing about the prequels, apart from, oh, even that was bad. You were the chosen one. I have the higher ground. He can force choke, whatever. You've got
The previous version of that fight scene was supposed to be way cooler.
Ah,
Where they
what
don't just like
happened?
hop over each. Anyway,
Yeah, that was such a. Come on. He
I can
turns into
jump
Darth
higher
Vader.
than
This
you.
guy's
But
smart.
Liam Neeson, how great was he? Obi-Wan, he's perfect.
super great.
Obi-Wan
He's
is
not
perfect.
Obi-Wan.
Anyway, it's in the scene
Obi-Wan?
where they're
He's
at
not
the opera,
Obi-Wan.
and it's.
He's Qui-Gon.
I am telling you some pretty cool
I'm
shit,
interested.
guys.
I just had to
Wait, did I say Liam Neeson or Ewan McGregor?
Yeah, you said Liam.
I
I
meant
think
to
I know
say
the way you're talking about.
Ewan.
That's,
They're both
Darth
great. We're
Plagueis,
listening.
not
Sidicus.
Darth
No,
Bane.
no, not
But I also
Sidicus.
That's
recommend
true.
Darth Plagueis by James
Darth
Luceno.
Plagueis.
That was pretty good.
Plagueis.
Have you ever heard
I'm thinking
the
of
story
Plagueis.
Darth Plagueis
Bane.
the Wise? I'm gonna tell you anyway.
We're watching.
proceed's
We're watching a theater
Hold
of
on,
bubbles.
so Bane.
But I'm gonna
now
talk
I'm
to you about
getting.
Darth Plagueis.
Darth Bane is in Clone Wars.
But mentioned in Clone Wars, so still canonical.
Yeah, he appears in like season 6 of the Clone Wars. Like Yoda
Dope.
faces off against the spirit
Bane.
of Darth Bane.
That's
It's pretty
right.
cool.
That's right. No. Sorry, Plagueis is better.
We
Start with.
should
I thought you were talking
start-
about Darth Plagueis novels. I
No.
rescind every agreement that I had, and I'm going to
Oh, Ma,
hijack
don't
your
do that.
recommendation.
Don't do that.
I
Just
am. I'm
agree
so
with you
sorry.
boys.
Darth
No,
Plagueis
well,
is
tell
better.
us more
You can't go wrong
about
with
the
a Star Wars
series.
novel.
But as an
Yeah.
entry level, the Plagueis ones. Is that James Luceno? I thought that was James Luceno.
Yeah, Darth Plagueis is James Luceno.
And Luceno did Tarkin.
I
Yes,
believe he did. Yeah,
and Catalyst.
I gotta read
I
Catalyst.
still got to read Catalyst.
I've got to read Catalyst.
It was a
It's
good
apparently
time.
very, very good. Actually,
time.
that's probably a good intro book as well. Shut up, Maud. No one cares anymore because you screwed up Bane
No,
and Plagueis.
oh my god.
Maud.
No, Maud.
Oh my God,
don't.
Maud, we care about your
Don't,
Star Wars
Maud.
No, but I got something wrong, and I'm supposed to be a Star Wars geek,
That's
and I
okay.
confused
No,
Bane
no,
and Plagueis, and that is the plague on both my houses. You know?
2 houses?
Okay, Maud, you know
Are you
what?
rich?
I need more wine.
All right, great.
think
Yeah,
I've
that's
Two
it.
boys, can you do me a favor? Are you part of our Goodreads community yet?
Yeah, I've made a couple of suggestions on
Would
the
you-
side and just checked out a couple of the discussions.
Would you start a Star Wars thread that we can
Ooh.
throw into, because I really want to get
Yeah.
back into them, and and
Bane
we'll
is
get
the
more
rule
into
of
this
two.
book, but
Sorry.
I
Yeah.
feel like I need more. So if you could start that for us, thank you so much for joining us, and
Yeah.
keep sending all of your recommendations in the
Dude,
chat,
boys.
and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Dude, boys.
And I had a quick question from Chad, if it's okay to ask that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from Pinkishly, who was the one who inspired this. If you could rule through fear like Vader, or rule through manipulation like Palpatine, or rule through loyalty by like Thrawn, who would you pick and why?
I gotta go.
I would
Thrawn.
rule by hope.
You can't do what?
Oh, nice.
It's trying to show off the new tat. There it is.
I would rule through
I
hope.
see.
Hope. Well, that's.
This
well, that
tattoo
wasn't-
literally means there's always hope.
That wasn't one of the options, Maud.
But I'm D option, hope. Thank you.
I would pick through loyalty like Thrawn.
Yeah, I see.
I feel like that's the way to go. I
Not
feel-
through fear. Through fear
I
is
feel like-
awful.
Fear is bad because people want to kill you. Manipulation is bad because when people find out you being
Betrayed.
manipulated,
Yeah.
you're
There is no
betrayed.
loyalty.
There's no
I
loyalty.
feel like this is cheating, but I feel like you can. I would pick loyalty, but I do think that the art of you can use the art of manipulation with
Well
loyalty.
played. Well played. Very nice.
I'm not
Patch
a
my
Sith,
eyes
I
on you in the
swear.
chat, by the way.
It's true. What's
Send
that?
Maud some cheese to go with that. To go with that what? Send
To
cheese to go
wine, maybe?
Burn wine.
Oh, yes, cheese.
Oh.
Just to get my Star Wars credibility back, since I fucked it up. Yes, I think it was Plagueis saying that it was Bane that created and
the rule
DeMarco
of T.
draws.
Rule
Darth
of
Bane is the rule of 2. For those that don't know, the Sith, Darth Bane. Way back in the Old Republic, there were many Sith, many Jedi.
Yeah.
And then Darth Bane initiated the rule of 2, where you only have the apprentice and the master.
Right, because before they would have to just kill everyone to get to that place, right? Wouldn't they have to kill all the?
No, there were many Sith living all over, and then Darth Bane said, no, there should only be the rule of 2, and that is, and then it became like complete within Sith. So there can only be 2 Sith. Usually there can only be 2, the Master and the Apprentice. And so the Apprentice, to become the Master, would have to kill the Master, or to get a new Apprentice, you kill your Apprentice.
Tyrannus, that was the story that Palpatine told, right?
Actually, so Plagueis told the story of never dying.
Yeah.
So Plagueis realized that you could harness the Force and basically create immortality. And because that was mentioned in the prequels, I believe that's what Snoke is about.
Yeah, I would buy that too, because I think that part of if we're getting into theories now, but with The Last Jedi and Luke saying that the Jedi have to end, I think that part of that is using the Force for this, because I feel like it didn't pay off. I mean, a lot of things in the prequels didn't pay off, but it didn't pay off in the way that they bring up that story.
They keep that whole scene in there, yeah.
But then everything that happens with Padme and with Anakin feels like it's sort of rushed through it, and there's no like conclusion of, okay, maybe they explore that in the books, but I just feel like we need that logical.
They explore that in the
conclusion
Clone
to that.
Wars a little bit more. Well, at least their relationship before all the shit went down.
Yeah.
And I loved that you get to see their relationship, and then you only see the aftermath. The whole Padme dying and then
Have a broken heart.
that's only in the movies so far.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it makes more sense when you watch Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And then you see the aftermath a lot more when you read Lords of the Sith.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much to you boys. Thank you, Tyler.
Thanks for indulging that question, and thanks for having me on.
What would you pick?
Yeah, what would you pick, Tyler?
Yeah, you don't get away from this.
I'm kind of biased to just try and emulate anything Vader does, because just Vader's so cool. But I do think I'm gonna have to go with Thrawn, just because I just really respect his leadership style, and quite frankly, up until this book, I was ready to join up with the Empire, and just if I could serve under Thrawn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's the only
And
way.
then what
exactly.
happened?
Yeah.
Sorry?
You said up until this book that
Yeah.
was your decision, and then what happened?
Well, just understanding again how complacent he is with how the Empire works, and just when he's talking with Night Swan, when he talks about how, you know, Palpatine can't be Emperor forever, and as a Grand Admiral, I can influence who's going to be the new
that
Emperor,
was
and he'll
quite
do
clever.
a
I thought
better
that was
job.
smart.
And it's just like, no, he won't. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Just how can you not? You finally understand he's really bad at politics. He just doesn't understand the way the Empire works.
Huge flaw. Yeah.
But maybe
Yeah.
he learns it. Hopefully we'll get to see in other stories how he gets to where he is. And what happens to Eli? I don't know what happens to Eli.
He
So
goes to the
hopefully we-
chest.
It's just
Yeah, but what
excited
happens after
about
that?
him
So
joining up with the
hopefully we
Chiss.
find that
Yeah.
out.
I can't wait to see if Zan does another book and he talks about Eli's time with the Chiss. I'd read that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that'd be great.
Thanks so much,
Thanks
boys.
so much.
May the
Thanks,
Force
Tyler.
be with you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Always. In the comments, I believe it was Lost the Numbers said that Snoke is a big boy.
Oh.
Did you ever think that maybe he's a hologram and that he could be any
So on
So he's real small?
on Nerdist News Talks Back, our managing editor Alicia Lutz asks the age-old question that we all want to know:
Is Snoke a joke?
is Snoke a big boy or a small boy? Is he actually
Is it
very
option
large or is
regular
he
size
very
boy?
No,
That's not an option.
one or the other. Is he tiny like Thumbelina, or is he huge? I like the idea that he's a small boy.
Yeah, me too.
A little tiny
Size
Real
matters.
small boy.
little tiny Snoke, who's making himself bigger.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Thank you, lost the numbers.
All right, so I want to chat about this side of the book. The last few chapters, the end of the book, Arinda becoming governor. She's feminism in the Empire, apparently. But what I've learned about her is that she, is the yin to Thrawn's yang. Thrawn is a great warrior, not statisticians.
Statistician, tactician.
Tactician is the word I was after. I don't need that anymore.
No.
No.
Tactician. But what I realized about Arinda is that she's a great political person, but she's not a great leader, because she made a decision in blowing up her traces basically, it was
her home.
self-preservation. Yes, to save her parents, but she also killed someone because he was stopping her plan. But I realized when she blew up so many, like, civilians,
Yeah.
especially on the back of the conversation that Thrawn had with Night Swan, I realized she's not in it for her people at all. She actually
No.
makes a terrible leader because a leader represents a body of people. And what she essentially did was destroyed a number of people just to preserve her parents, which were two people that in the scheme of
They're
things,
connected to her. I think
terrible leader.
I almost feel like she has no character development at all in this story, which is fine. But I feel like the moment in the beginning where she's faced with the choice of her family's mine and what she's doing, and she is like, nope, I'm going. I was like, okay, she is in it for herself and herself alone. And she could have learned from that, but she didn't. And her parents are just an extension of her. That's what she cares about. It's not.
But she didn't choose them then, and she's choosing them now at the end.
Yeah, I
and
think
that
maybe there is
really,
a little
I
bit
was
of
waiting for her to be
life,
like,
though,
thunk.
not their mine. This is like they're going to die. For me, I felt like
I see.
that to me is like she was pushed to the very final thing where she
So
said,
she had-
"Okay, fine,
of course.
I'm gonna save them," but
You're not going to use a potential death of your parents as like a way to show off how a character development could end in like, I don't care about my parents, because it's so extreme that it's like, of course, a person's going to save their
although
mom
I
and dad.
guess I did think that she was ready to let them die.
Yeah, there you go. I just
fact
felt
that-
like the fact that she killed that guy
Yeah.
after he said, let him die with the rest of these outer world scum. To me, in the
That was a
beginning of
trigger.
her story, she was so
yeah.
about leaving the outer world, the outer rim rather, and going to Coruscant
But
and
she
living with
also
the big city.
She was always
hated the
offended
prejudice.
by that, yeah.
She
Yes.
hated the prejudice
Yes.
associated with being an outer rim
Yeah.
person. And as soon as she said that, she's like, fuck you,
So maybe
bye.
there wasn't a lot of character development with Arinda, but it's like, well, is that the character who we should have had development with? The person who had the character that had the most development, I think, is Eli.
I agree.
Yes.
Completely agree.
Absolutely,
Yep.
Eli.
This
and
is about
Thrawn
Eli.
and Arinda were almost constants in this story, you know, because they kind of have to be. And if because Thrawn is such a like defined, this is who this character is, and this is how he's the smartest guy in the room, and he's Sherlock, and it's like, how much character development does a character like Sherlock
Oh my
have?
god, and Eli is Watson.
And Eli's Watson, but like Arinda is supposed to be the yin to Thrawn's yang. So
she's
like,
Moriarty
how much
instead,
can she
yeah.
change? So they're these sort of like unstoppable objects, right? Immovable objects, and Eli's the one that's kind of like learning.
Could be figuring
Do you know
out
why
where he
it's all
is,
about
yeah.
Eli? Because Eli really is, in essence, the only one you're rooting for. You're not
Yeah.
necessarily rooting for Thrawn
he's in
because
the
he does
Empire.
make these decisions that T. Boyce was saying, Tyler
Mm-hmm.
was saying, where it's like, ooh, you really don't care about lives and you don't care about the greater good in the whole. You care about your personal greater good.
Yeah.
And then you've got Arinda, who's willing to sacrifice anyone, including her best friend, including her, like this entire planet.
She's cold as ice,
She really is.
willing to sacrifice.
My love.
She never takes advice, but she'll pay the price. I know.
Arinda Price!
I've seen it before. Did any of you guys think that Eli was going to get screwed over by Thrawn and die? I thought that was going to
No.
happen.
I didn't think that he was
But I
going to
also
get
thought that
screwed
would be
over
too
by
obvious.
Thrawn, but I thought maybe that by following Thrawn, he would pay the price for Thrawn's actions,
right.
which
Sure.
I think
Right,
could
collateral.
still happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay, is this going to be a trilogy? Probably.
Oh, you
I
think
feel
so?
Oh, well, I mean, it definitely
They
did
don't
that to be
end.
continued.
Yeah, they don't
That's true.
end. Like
Yeah.
he has to learn something, and he's not around unless he has a name change.
Yeah, the universe of Star
by
Wars
the
doesn't
original
end.
trilogy.
So.
But by the
Oh.
original trilogy, he's not. This is a new. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember him from, and it's been
No.
many moons.
This is
since I read the
this is how I
originals,
see it
but-
happening. He goes and joins the Chiss Ascendancy for A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. And after the Emperor gets killed at the end of Jedi, and Thrawn, I think Timothy
Yes.
Zahn's going to write the stories of like, well, what happens in between Jedi and Force Awakens, which I know we already have
Well,
books
that's
about, we
where-
already have things about, but I feel like where's Thrawn in that world? What?
So
what
I
is-
don't
Are
know Thrawn's demise. I don't know how
yeah,
this all
so I
ends
feel
for
like
him.
it's going to happen there, and in that,
That's
he's
in
gonna
the
grab
original
Eli.
trilogy.
which is
Yeah.
no longer
But it's
canon,
not
but I
canon
think you can
anymore.
What
still
happened?
tell
Spoil it for me.
stories.
It's a whole.
He was the bad guy. He was a new bad guy, and he fought Luke, Leia,
Yeah,
Han,
and he
then
rules
got
by
taken down.
loyalty, and he has a right-hand man very similar to Eli, which was my question of.
No, T. Boyce mentioned that.
Yeah,
what was
I
his
don't-
name?
Yeah,
Pelion.
and I don't
Pippin?
believe. I really want to reread these books because I loved
too,
them
man.
when I was younger. But
not
he
canon, no
ends up
point.
getting correct me if I'm wrong because I don't remember. Isn't it like A2 Brute like his most loyal right hand man ends up betraying him at the end.
Maybe. But look at that.
Someone
Look
in
how
the chat
badass
tell
that
me.
looks. Heir to the Empire. I'm a wizard with lasers coming out of my fingers.
is
I want to
that?
read that. My first cover.
That's the one I had.
Look at
I
those
think.
great covers. I need to read those.
Yeah.
Wow,
No, you put
that's
the books
too new.
side
I
by
had a
side.
different one.
That's great.
Yep.
But yeah, so
Who cares if
it's
it's not
actually
canon?
his loyalty. Well, but that's the thing is that they're bringing him here. He's in Rebels, so are they
might-
going to do a new trilogy
Yeah.
of Thrawn
Yeah,
books?
so what you
after
know,
the
forget
full-
everything that you know, because this is the only one that matters right now. And I will say who matters, that it's canon or not canon. Me, because I have so many hours in a day
Yes.
with so many
Well, that's
things
why
to
I've
read.
been a little frustrated at the new ones because I was like, well, they're bringing some characters back, but the established stories aren't canon anymore. So if
Who
you're
makes that
bringing him
decision?
back, no, not even that, but if you're bringing him back here,
Yeah.
so he clearly plays into the story in the long run. Are you going to take the original trilogy and shape it and do another one after that based on what they decide to do with the new trilogy? I guess
so.
that's probably what they're going to
It's
do.
like
but-
X-Men Days of Future Past. They erased all the X-Men movies because
Yeah.
Mystique didn't shoot the
And
president
then the
in
next
the 70s.
one was so
Yeah.
great after that, Hector, wasn't it?
Yeah, Logan was dope.
That's not, it was dope, but that
There we
wasn't
go.
the next one.
Well, whatever.
Apocalypse
Got that
was.
high five FOMO.
apprehensive.
X-Men Apocalypse, but I didn't care about that. I cared about X-Men in the present day when Wolverine wakes up and the alarm clock goes off and Patrick Stewart's like Logan and Jean Grey's
Yeah.
there. Like that's the thing that's
Yes,
different.
I
So,
do too. I
same
love
thing.
Famke Janssen.
Yeah,
but,
Famke Janssen's great.
I love her.
I love saying her name. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I don't care.
I don't
Famke
care
Janssen.
either.
Famke Janssen sounds like you're saying something naughty.
Femke Jensen. It does sound
I
like
will
that.
not, unless I've had whiskey.
Yeah.
So,
I don't drink whiskey, by the way.
what do you think? So it felt,
Psych.
it felt a little.
Yes, DeMarco draws. Oh, you're just kidding. I saw those comments. Wait, Night's one was
Let's actually
Signy?
let's talk about
I'm
that.
kidding.
The fact
Yes.
that Marco draws bring the point he brings up. Night's one, Signy.
I thought it was gonna be
convinced? You were
Thrawn. I thought it was gonna
I
be
know,
Thrawn,
you
and I thought it
really
would have been way
did.
more badass in one of those like the end of Saw twists, where it's like, oh,
it's a
he was
Usual
in there the whole
Suspects.
time. It's
I've
Usual
never
Suspects.
seen
Yeah.
Saw. I'll never watch Saw.
Have you
It's
seen
not
The
that
Usual
bad.
Suspects?
The grossest part of Saw is when a guy
They're
sticks his
playing it
hand
at
into
the
a toilet full of
cemetery
poop,
soon.
but it's just brown water. It's all movie makeup and
No,
magic.
that's
love.
not the
It's
worst
fine.
thing. I remember going to
What?
a club at night and they were playing it on a small television screen and I
not that
couldn't
bad.
not watch it. And I was like,
what
I
was
want to
it? What was
complain
the
to
worst- what was the
management
worst
because
part?
I feel sick.
What was the worst
They had
part
to
to you?
saw off their hand.
It's not that bad. It's
That's
a
a
How
leg.
is that not so bad?
Saw's not that
when was the
bad.
last time you fucking sawed off your fucking hand?
no, that's not.
It's the foot.
Oh, it's a foot.
It's a foot.
Yeah, I was watching like a
Dumb.
little
It's so
bit.
fake.
And I didn't like it, and I was going to complain to management. Man, I would rather lose a hand than a foot.
No, I'd much rather lose
No.
a foot, Maud. I'd use my hands more in my life. Take a second. Think about that. Take a second.
The women would lose their hand, and the dude would lose.
It's easier to replace a foot with a prosthetic than it is a hand that can do all of this business
We're
right
off.
here.
What other business?
Wade Watts, that's a good
You
question.
know what business
I want
I'm
to
talking
get to
about.
that, but I want to talk about the reveal because I felt like the biggest reveal to me in this book was actually what Thrawn, and I'm like mad that I didn't pick it up. I know we need another. But I can't believe that I didn't pick up that. Of course, he was not trapped and marooned on that island or planet.
That was a nice
Yeah.
little twist, though. I liked that
I liked
twist.
it a lot, but I was mad at myself for not picking up on it because.
I see
Oh
what's
my
happening
God, you're
here.
gonna break it. Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, I felt like Eli. I was like, oh, of course that's what he did.
Yeah. Everything
It
he
felt
does,
obvious.
it's like
Once it's explained to you, it feels
which is what
obvious.
happens in Sherlock
Yeah.
every single time. Yeah, I love that payoff though. For me, that is such incredible writing. It's keeping someone in the dark and giving little tidbits, and then all of a sudden, boom, it all falls into place.
Minus the space battles in the end, the third act was my favorite part because it did feel like we got that twist. We got even just a little bit about the battle where you see Eli kind of struggling with, is Thrawn going to sacrifice all these people? Is he really that cold-hearted?
And
it's like,
started
no.
to spy on him.
And but he's learning from him in a way that I think that Thrawn wants Eli to learn. So I liked all of those. I liked the surprise that Arinda saved her family, even though it ended up being at the cost of who knows how many lives. I thought everything at the end of this felt like the book felt like it was kind of a like spy thriller at different times.
Sure.
And it this was where it really pays off, like an episode of Alias where you're like, this was the plan they had all along, and you get that reveal. So I really liked, I think, the beginning and the end were sort of my favorite parts.
I agree.
Dragged in the middle.
Ken
Bucky B
has
says,
burritos.
I wasn't expecting that twist.
And
What's that?
Ken
Yeah.
has burrito is insinuating that you masturbate a lot, but masturbate is with a U, not an ER. There you go.
I
We're all learning.
Well, actually, I think in the U.S.
no, is
it's
it?
with an E.
Which
You put the
Yes.
master in masturbate? What?
Yeah,
No,
USA,
master.
USA, USA.
But there's a U in USA. in
T-Boys,
master.
Actually, no, it is
Which
master
excuse are
with a
you
U, you're
talking
right.
about? That's strict about rules.
I
I don't
know.
know which we're on a deep
How to
tangent.
It's
spell
the
it.
word
So I
color
don't
that I'm
know.
thinking of that's different. You guys add an extra unnecessary U.
We do. I love
Yes.
that. I love that U in color.
Color.
And armor.
Favor.
Yes. Neighbor.
Someone in the chat, I believe it was Wade Watts, said, "Can we talk about Vader and Thrawn finally meeting?"
yes,
I
and
would
he
read
doesn't
a whole
know it's
book of
him?
that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it's him. I
Ooh.
call bullshit.
When we
I don't
were,
know.
I don't
I-
know what week we were talking about this, but I think one of you guys was like, I think Thrawn knew that Vader
Was
was
Anakin.
Anakin
Yeah,
from
me.
when he met
Yes,
Anakin.
me.
And it's like I was looking for that mod hint from Thrawn in
that
that last
tiny
scene, and it
doing.
wasn't there.
But
That,
he's
you know.
never
But
going to give you a hint.
I
so-
really
Yeah.
thought about it. I really, really, really thought about it. Anakin, very able, has all his limbs, still influenced by the light side of the Force.
Doesn't have a robot voice.
No, and then
Doesn't have a
you
scary
see him
cape.
break it down. He's looking at him.
Yeah.
He's looking at Vader, and he's like, his voice is deep and is
Yeah.
manipulated by computer technology. The way that he moves is very like abrupt, but he's just exudes confidence. And I want to
Love
know, is Vader more confident than Anakin?
1,000%.
Yes.
1,000%.
I think-
Because, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, please.
You first.
Okay. Vader is the guy who is unsure about what he's doing and is
Anakin.
insecure.
Talking about Anakin or Vader?
But Vader is that guy being told by another guy, no, you're fine. You do you. You're perfect the way you are. So Vader's like, I'm the
Yes.
most badass in the
It's-
galaxy. Yeah, that's who
It's
Vader
like
is. Yeah.
it's like if you have a bad influence friend in high
Oh, the
school.
enabler.
Yes, but especially
Palpatine's an enabler.
one of those people where you're like, it's whatever bad thing that you're doing, where your friend is like, don't worry, it's cool. It's okay."
And then there's another friend who's like, I don't know, and you hate them, but they're probably right, and that's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Because
that's what that relationship
this is
yeah.
a thing, and this is a larger conversation about friendship, but I think that my best friendship is my best friend who I went to college with and have known for a really long time, and we had a
Okay, that's fine, Rachel. It's
She's-
not
you guys
Maud or
would
I.
love- you
It's
guys would
fine.
love- you guys
no,
would love her. She lives
it's
in
fine.
Germany,
Who
so
cares?
I
It's fine.
don't get to
Sure.
see her.
Yeah, my
Jessica,
best
I
friend
miss
lives in
you
Germany
every
too.
day.
Whatever, no big deal. Keep talking.
But no, what makes our friendship really strong is that we had a huge falling out many years ago.
Oh, that's so sad.
But that we learned how to be, because I think when you're really close to someone, you can be afraid to tell them the truth because you love them so much. And when you break past that and you can actually be honest
hard.
with them, which is really hard to do with a friend. And I think when you try to do that, sometimes it doesn't work and it can ruin it. But now that we got through something that we worked through together many years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's like
You're stronger.
I can call her on her shit and vice versa.
I love that. Can you imagine if
yeah.
Anakin Skywalker went to Obi-Wan and was like, listen, Obi, I love this woman and I want to get married and have babies. And Obi, instead of being like, you can't, that's not the Jedi
the
way.
Jedi way.
If he was like,
I get it. She's a babe.
if he was
That
like,
is a 10.
bro,
Lock it
Will-
down.
all right, I don't think he's going to be that gross. But if he was essentially like,
Cool, I'm
agree.
a 10.
I agree.
I've got, of course, Natalie's a 10, but
Natalie
it's like,
Portman is
I
like,
got your back, dude.
Lock
Annie,
it down.
Annie, I got your back. Let's figure this out. Let's go to the
Yeah.
council.
But he probably
Let's
also
figure it
talked
out.
to him about the larger issues that come with that, not just with the Jedi Order.
No,
but
it was a
with-
cultist act. That is not within the bounds. Actually,
Sure.
it was religion as well.
Yeah,
You were
and
not
that's
allowed
why
the
Luke
ninth
is saying
commandment.
the
blah,
Jedi
blah,
Jedi
blah.
must end
end.
because both sides are too strict.
Because Luke's
Yeah.
trying to get busy.
They're both
you know?
absolutes. And Sith only work in absolutes, but Jedi is working in an
That's
absolute
absolutely
manner.
why.
You guys, I have a theory.
Luke's
It's
like,
unrelated to this, so maybe
Ray,
we'll
I
finish
want
the
you to
book
be
and
able to
then we can do
get
extra.
some, so the Jedi must end.
Ray get laid.
Ray get late. Late Skywalker.
Regulate.
Yeah.
Regulate.
On the regular.
I have a theory.
Regular.
So you know how we were talking about how Laura Dern might be Mara Jade. So after the
With the
Vanity
purple
Fair
hair.
photos today, I don't think that anymore. But
I think
makes
it.
me want purple hair again. But no, here so this is not related to the book, but it's Star Wars, so it counts. So Ryan Johnson revealed that there's this new planet called Canto Bight. That's a casino-like.
How many
city.
puns can I get from Canto Bite?
So many.
Oof, that's gonna be fun.
But it's
Hey, but don't bite off more than you can chew.
Canto?
And that's your first one.
Canto?
Oh, watch out, everybody. Mod's on the
started.
loose.
Yeah, it's begun. Anyway.
So my theory is that the city is supposed to be a like Monte Carlo, James Bond, To Catch a Thief are the references that Ryan Johnson said. So okay, you might like this because it's film related. Have you seen To Catch a Thief?
No, but
Alfred
keep
Hitchcock?
going.
Okay, so it's a really great.
I've seen Rear Window, so yes, keep going.
It's
I haven't
a
even
it's a
seen that.
romantic thriller about cat burglars, and Cary Grant is a former cat burglar who's trying to figure out basically someone else is ripping off his moves, and he's trying to figure out who it is.
Oh, he's got a copycat burglar.
Yes.
It's very
Yes.
Batman Catwoman.
Yes.
Batman
Ooh,
Catwoman.
absolutely.
Love it.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially in like Batman the Animated Series first couple episodes.
Yes.
So he referenced that and
Sorry,
he said this is the place where the upper echelon of the galaxy go to like get away from war basically, and they're just the 1% doing their thing. Laura Dern's character, who's a top agent in the Resistance, according to the description of Vanity Fair, she looks like she fits into that group. So I was like, okay, they're gonna do a like full-on Alias / To Catch a Thief style, her infiltrating this cool casino to get some sort of thing. So I think she might actually be a really cool Resistance spy.
That's cool.
That
That's
I thought
really
was
cool.
super cool, and I
Yeah.
like that the genre that Star Wars is going into, with Rogue One being a heist movie,
Yep.
and this one feels like a spy thriller, and then that I was like, I'm super into that vibe of it being this ragtag group of people who
Not so
don't
space opera.
necessarily know what they're doing, but they're trying to figure it out and it's like an Ocean's 11 or the original
Star Wars,
Italian
baby.
Job type thing. So I thought that was really cool and
That's Star
tied
Wars,
into
yeah.
this of that like vibe.
I saw
love
pictures
it.
of Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, and I still don't buy it. So fuck.
Send me those pictures. I need to look at those. Actually,
happy.
you know what? Never mind. I have the internet. I can do it myself. Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'll just Google it. Just
You
Google
should
it.
watch or go to nerdist.com.
Yeah. Would y'all recommend this book though? Really quick, super quick. Would y'all recommend it? I would, but the next time I'm ever gonna,
No.
I would recommend it to, again, like people have been saying, fans of the EU. But the next time I'm ever gonna be excited
Mm-hmm.
about this book again, because I felt it to be a little bit dry, is if I can read it to a kid. If I ever have a kid one day, and I throw in the soundtracks and I read it to them.
Hmm. I would never read
and
this to a child.
And I would do the voices. If they were like, "Tell us more about Thrawn," I'd be like, "I'm gonna read
When
this
is
book
your
to you."
child ever going to say that?
If they're watching Star Wars Rebels and they're like, "Who's Thrawn?" They're cool. I'll be like, "I have a
I
book.
have
Do you want me
friends
to
wouldn't
read it
read
to
the
you?"
book.
who have been trained from birth to like certain things.
There you go.
Nerdy
there you
stuff.
go.
So I think I would only recommend this to someone who's super into
There you go.
the canon. I
No,
would like
there's, like,
if
4
everyone
more
can
other
get
Star
on
Wars books.
Goodreads.
Yeah, let's
I
keep
would
that
like
going.
to read more of these on the side, even if we're not reading them.
Agreed.
But next week, May is another 5-week month, so we're going to be doing another one-off. We thought about a lot of different things, and we'll do them all later. But this month, at the end, we're going to read Wonder Woman,
Yes.
the Hecate,
Hecate.
in honor of Wonder Woman, the movie coming out next week that we're so excited.
I've
to
seen
see.
it. Wait,
It's-
I'm not going to say anything, but I will wait until the Hecate is not on the screen.
Yay!
There we go,
I'm
there we
so
go.
excited. So this standalone is out of print with that really awesome cover, which was when you came to me and was like, it's Wonder Woman's boot on Batman. I was like, don't care. I'm just like, that sounds badass.
Can't
There
wait.
it is.
Can't wait.
But even though that's out of print, we found it in a Greg Rucka anthology of Wonder Woman
Mother
Volume
Rucka.
1. So we're gonna. Oh man, Wonder Woman's so goddamn cool.
Yeah, she's the coolest.
She's so cool. So
I don't
your
look like that
homework
when I
is
leave
to
over
read
cars.
that.
Okay.
Make sure you're sending us recommendations for next month. We're looking at different high fantasy
Yes.
film adaptations, horror, sci-fi. We're trying to figure out what the next one is.
I have recommended high fantasy and contemporary fantasy books. A lot of them are in my pile of shame. Other ones I have already read.
Read the Dresden. I love the Dresden Files.
Have you
Let's
read
do
that?
it.
Yeah, I've read
I
like
did.
10
I haven't.
of them.
I put
haven't-
it.
I
Okay,
haven't
no,
read
I've
it.
never done it. I
But
bought
guys-
it on audiobook.
You haven't read it either?
Robin Hobb, Assassin's Apprentice. I've bought that I think twice. I never read it. And Robert Jordan, I bought it, and a fan bought it for me and sent it to me, and I still have
I'd be
it.
down to read
Golden
any of that.
Compass, and then we're gonna so send us your recommendations because we have so many. And we're just gonna keep reading and reading and reading forever. Don't forget, if you missed any earlier, we are on Goodreads. Send us all your recommendations. Come discuss with us. And if you're interested in joining us through Skype on the show,
Yeah,
just
jump on.
Let Courtney know.
Tyler
on
did such a good
Twitter.
job.
Yes.
Tyler, you're amazing.
You're
well
the
We
best, Tyler.
love honestly
So
having
cool.
people come in and chat
Yeah.
with us is like, this is a book club is where you
This is a
hang out with
community.
your friends and talk about
We have a
books.
special guest next week.
And it's
Joining
we
us.
are gonna have
Ooh,
this
a
week.
very
Can I
special-
say
yeah.
who it is, or should I wait?
Yeah, go, you can go.
We're gonna have Jessica Chobot,
Chobot!
world's #1 Wonder Woman fan, to come hang out with us. So
I'll wear my Wonder Woman dress.
yes, I'm so.
I'll go buy a Wonder Woman shirt. I don't have one. I'm such a piece of shit.
Well,
I need to go
they're
get
gonna
one.
be selling more of it now because
Good.
it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
go to
Yeah.
Hot Topic. I'm gonna go to
a
Hot
ton
Topic.
of money. So if you want to join us, let us know. If you have recommendations, Twitter, join Team Alpha, Geek and Sundry, Nerdist, Rachel Hine, Hector Spunny, what is it?
Wow.
Is it just Mod? Is it?
Oh,
Maud
I thought you were
Maudie?
asking my name.
No, I
was
mean,
like,
your Twitter
What's
handle.
your name? It's-
Awkward.
Is it
Maud Garrett? And by the way, DeMarco.
Oh, does it say
DeMarco-
more Maudie on your like pin?
That's
thing?
my. Yes,
That's why.
it does.
know.
Okay, hold on.
DeMarco draws.
DeMarco draws. Wheel of Time series. That is the Robert Jordan series that I just mentioned that I put forward.
Cool.
Theory. Yes, I actually put the Witcher books forward as well because The
Oh,
Witcher's going to be
cool.
made into a Netflix series. And DeMarco draws again. Drizzt books. I was going to put Drizzt on there. I've read the first 12 books of the series. I don't know whether I should start again because it was about 6 years ago, or if I should pick up from 13. And yes, you are Ari Salvatore. And I actually have audio of a 35-minute interview that I did with him back in 2011, and I should upload it onto SoundCloud
Hell yeah.
one day because we talked some drow shit.
Dope.
So I really hope we do a high fantasy one. So
Yeah, I want to.
Send us all your
Magician by
recommendations.
Raymond E. Feist. Oh my
That's
God, Lady
on there.
Amphi. That I have read half of it. That's on my pile of shame. We got to get out of here. Bye, guys.
Stick around for Choose Your Destiny. You don't want to miss it. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week for Wonder Woman. Bye.
I don't know why I stopped reading that book. I was halfway through it. I loved it. It's with Pug,
Who's Pug?
the main guy.